Self-destruct in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Cinco Squad. Cinco Squad. Cinco Squad.
And welcome back to another Friday, boys!
Yeah,
Welcome to
boys.
Cinco Squad.
Friday.
We got Jonathan Sawyer in the house. We got Mike DeSanto in the house. Jamie P in the house. And, of course, Pat in the hat. We got
What up, Pat in the hat?
We have a plethora of sports conversations going on tonight, boys. We have some golf talk. Ooh, some NBA talk. John, listen up to that one.
No.
We got NHL.
No.
We got winners and losers of the month of May. And, of course, everyone's favorite, the Stump the Squad, where the winner gets the rant of the week.
You mean John gets the rant of the week?
Whatever,
Basically.
man. He's going down this week, boys. He's going
That's
down
just how
this
that
week.
goes.
Fourth time, baby. I'm going for the Cinco.
Go for the Cinco. That should be a new award.
I'll
Boys, it's been
I'll
a
make it
long
up.
week, man. Long
Yes,
week.
sir. Yes,
Work,
sir.
Sports, playoffs.
Oh
Mike,
man, it's been a
how
great
are
week
you
of sports.
dealing with this? What are you sipping on?
What is
Michael,
you sipping on?
Yeah.
What is you sipping on?
Did Mike freeze?
No. I am drinking myself a Cayman Jack Moscow Mule.
Oh, from the Cayman
saw
Islands,
those.
man.
I saw those.
Ooh,
So good.
No
Found that on a beach vacation. Someone handed it to me, said, "Try this." I took a sip, and I'm like, "Okay, this is my drink now." But I want to know, after a long week of sports for two of your teams, John, what you sipping on? Is it water?
water.
Greek yogurt.
No.
Take a sip then.
You
Take a
can't
sip
sip on
then.
yogurt.
Bro, you can't cheers it and not take a sip. Come on.
I got a peach mango bang. Sorry, can't
The
figure it
official
out.
sports drink is Mike Green.
Fine.
Bang!
I would like to see you sip on yogurt, though.
No, I'm not gonna do
Oh,
that.
come on.
No,
Takes like
'cause
5
I-
minutes. It's like
I just cleaned this shirt.
Okay, all right. Stay classy for the pod.
Of course. Jay, what you sipping on, boy?
I got me my classic Red Star all the way from Amsterdam in Holland. It's Heineken.
It's classic, man.
Heine.
Classic.
I love the classic.
Jamie likes the
I
Heine.
don't have Mike's taste. Take that back. Take that back, bro. I don't like the Heine. Nor do I like the Ken. I just like that green.
Yeah, all right.
Pat in the hat, what you got in your cup, bro?
Next,
Guys, I got some different type of drink here, man. It's called Sweetwater Radler.
ooh,
Blood orange. The blood orange part
sweet
got
water,
me.
What does it taste like?
orange soda.
It
I'm guessing.
tastes like a fish that just liked an orange. That's what I'm tasting. It's not that good. Not that good.
that is
It's like the
That
second
is-
time I experimented with that Bud Light, disgusting. I don't know what it was. Drink.
Yeah, dude. No.
Sometimes it don't work.
one of the most interesting ways to describe a drink I've ever heard in my life.
Fish
Well,
ate an
the-
orange.
The
Is that what
fish
you
really got. Yeah, I'll put the box up.
said?
It's got
You
that
bought the
fish right
box.
there. Ain't
That's
that
great.
good, man? Ain't that good?
What do you give it out of 5 out of 10?
I get that. 2 thumbs down. No, 5 out of 10. That's giving it props, man. No 5, no 5. That's a 2 maybe, just because of price.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, boys, as Pat was alluding to, golf. I can't believe how disrespectful he did this PGA Championship in the intro. Wow. Second major of the years this year. Yes, you disrespected the PGA
Played in
Championship.
Oklahoma. People forget that's a state.
You're gone. No. Sorry, guys. I like that button.
Fair enough.
We got the PGA Championship, second major of the year. And, of course, Tiger Woods, y'all, is in the building. He's +3 today, though. But it's been a great –
didn't he play 1 under today?
He played 100, but he's three over. 3 over for the tournament.
Right, man. He had a great
But
day.
he made the cut. But the guy from Happy Gilmore is leading the tournament right now. William Zalatoris at -9.
That's right.
So have you guys taken a look at the tournament at all since it started? Probably not. Probably not.
Hey, I did see. I saw Justin Thomas. Did I get that right? Yeah. And Rory McIlroy were doing good. I don't know what happened lately, but
yes.
As of lunchtime on my break, they were doing good.
Justin Thomas is 6 under. Rory's at 4 under. He shot 1 over today. Been a great tournament so far. As I was talking to Jamie earlier, it's a tough tournament. It really is. It's very. They've extended the course, so it's longer on the par 5s. So I think the average on the par 5 is 665 yards, which is crazy. Wow. You're not getting there in 2. Scotty Scheffler, the Masters champion, actually had an eagle on that. So that's for all of our viewers. That's a 3 in par 5. So and for Pat. So boys, my question is, why does it seem like after the Masters, all the rest of the majors lose their hype? I'll go to Mike first.
Because I think it's because you're layman golf fan or sports fan or anybody that may, tune in when they're flicking around the TV. Like the Masters is something that they know. That's a brand in and of itself outside of being even associated with the PGA, though it is. Right. Whereas the rest of the Masters are like PGA events, but the Masters is something, completely separate. So I think it's easier for the layman fan to be invested in the Masters and distinguish it from any other golf event as it is the PGA Championship. Because to a lot of people, the PGA Championship would probably just be another golf tournament.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Definitely
Makes sense.
Agreed.
Yeah, Pat, what do you think?
I think it comes down to advertising. They're advertising the Masters during March Madness. Boom, right there. I'm already thinking, all right, Masters is coming up soon because I'm watching one of the most hyped up playoff games or playoff series in March Madness tournament.
Right.
PGA Championship, what is it? It doesn't sound like you're getting a cup. It doesn't sound like are there more championships after this? Is there more majors after this? Why is it called the championship?
It's just one of the majors. I don't know that answer, but
so give it a title like the Masters. I want to hear like the Oklahoma Wagon Trophy or something like that.
It's because the PGA is the one that puts it on. All the rest of the tournaments are not PGA affiliated, like the majors. The Masters has its own committee. The U.S. Open has their own committee. The Open overseas has their own committee.
Right there.
So
I want cohesion on all of that, man.
Cohesion.
Give me cohesion. I want unity. I want uniform golfers. All right.
Jay, what about you? What you think?
I'm with Pat where a lot of the advertising kind of lures you. When they advertise the Masters, they say a tournament like no other. So I think right there they're saying like this is the one you have to watch. This is the golf tournament of the year. So when you feel like you get your full ensemble from the beginning, you don't really feel like the need to go back and get another taste of it. I think tennis does it opposite, right? Tennis has the U.S. Open culminate their Grand Slams at the end of summer, and they do it at the right time where there's not that much sports going on, so it almost draws you into the U.S. Open. Like baseball is getting interesting at that time too. but it gets the draw and the real attention of most sports fans because, hey, there's nothing else to watch because not everybody's a tennis fan, but at the same time, it's a super exciting tournament. I feel the other thing about this tournament in particular, like Pat said, there is some confusion in the fact that this is the championship, then there's 2 opens, and then there's the master. Like having this idea of the championship tournament in the middle of all your masters, it is kind of weird for like the layman fan. You know what I mean?
That's weird. That's weird.
But I think it's more or less it's its own thing, right? So the PGA Championship is its own thing. Like that's why like Jack Nicklaus has 18. So like it's kind of like for tennis. It's a similar mindset as tennis, right? The tennis has Wimbledon. Tennis has the U.S. Open. Tennis has
the French Open and the Australian Open. So call them all opens. Call it the U.S. Open, the British Open.
It's not
the PGA Open. And then
Wimbledon's not called an Open. Wimbledon's not called.
But that's your Masters.
But same thing as the Masters because Wimbledon is like the Masters.
What do you call it, the PGA Open?
It's an exclusive club.
Because it's the PGA Championship.
Right.
Like that's just meant.
But everything else is open.
No, it's not. Not all the tournaments.
Playing
tennis has 3 opens and 1.
Wait, Mike, what are you saying?
Playing devil's advocate for the situation, I understand where they're coming from, John. I see where both sides are coming from. Being that kind of fan that's in the middle of golf, where it's like, oh, sometimes I'll watch golf like I watched before this, but sometimes I won't. It's the idea of tacking the word championship onto it makes you think it's going to end the season.
Right? Yeah, I get that because ultimately they have the PGA Championship, and then at the end of the season, they do have it in September.
The FedEx Cup.
Right? The FedEx Cup. Right. Yeah. So, and it's weird because they're all PGA. It's a PGA event. It's everything like that where they think for the longest time, that's what I thought when I was growing up is like the PGA. Well, on a side note that the PGA Championship was in August. It got moved recently to because it was so far because it was the Masters, U.S. Open, PGA Championship. But there was a month and a half between.
That's what I thought.
But there was a month and a half between the next major, and the PGA didn't like that. They wanted to have it 1 month after another, like from April to May to June, July, and then to worry about the rest of the tournaments and whatnot. So, but I get you guys. Like it does sound like it's the end of the year tournament, right?
So from like a name perspective,
it's confusing.
FedEx Cup and PGA Championship,
but the build up too. Build up to the PGA Championship.
I got you.
Why is Masters being built up so much? Like, okay, the Masters being played. I see you won. Why do I care about the other championships or any other?
Yeah, I get you.
That's going on.
I get you. Yeah, I get you. It's like why what's different from the FedEx Cup? And you're kind of when you're not the average fan like me who watches golf every week. Right. Like you're not going to understand.
Played every week.
What?
Yeah, they have tournaments every week.
They have tournaments
all
every week.
The time, bro. That's the whole controversy going on. Pat, you see, that's the controversy right now going on with this new break off from the PGA because it's a more favorable schedule for a golfer where you don't have to hustle every weekend, especially as a young golfer, to try and even break even or get your card to play in certain tournaments. Okay. Like they're creating purses that are the same size in golf courses that are just as amazing. But there's not that much of that hustle mentality that you have to play week after week after week after week after week to work your way into a potential purse where you can call it a good year. So, it's interesting that Phil Mickelson backed out of this tournament as the defending champ, right? That was the storyline heading in, right? And then it's so weird that once Tiger's playing, like he trumps it. If you have the defending champion not playing, that should be the storyline. But all of a sudden it's like, well, Tiger's playing, so that trumps everything else, right?
Tiger,
and the crowds, they're incredible.
Exactly. And that's something I don't think we'll ever see again in any other sport. Like, yes, Michael Jordan had pull, but Tiger Woods brings the average fan that only watches for Tiger Woods.
Well, it's easier to do with individual sports like golf, tennis, Venus Williams. Everyone draws a crowd around that. Tiger Woods, everyone draws a crowd around that.
Nadal. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. They said that, the crowds were like 10 people deep. Like that's how around Rory. I mean, it was an incredible group. And shout out to the PGA for putting together a great group in Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, and Tiger Woods. That was pretty sweet.
Oh,
that's a dynamic
group. That's good.
Yeah. That was the first 2 days, and that brought a lot of hype to that group. I agree with you, Jamie. Like having Phil sit out is kind of odd. He's going through his own separate shit that's going on right now. So
I was
it's
gonna say why, I'm confused as to why he's sitting out. I mean,
because of everything he's made comments towards the PGA, which we don't have to get into too much.
Right.
But like he went and made a lot of comments earlier this year about the new LIV tournament in Saudi Arabia.
He said, I don't get why the Masters are before the championship.
Yeah, he said made some comments towards the PGA, but kind of like similar to what Jamie was, but he made it more shots that are hard to retract.
I remember. I remember. I didn't know if there was anything additionally that I may have missed.
No, and he just hasn't played this year at all. So
I heard
it is weird.
A satanic cult.
So, John, let me ask you something as a fan of golf, right? When you have a name like Zalatoris up on the leadership board, and there's really
awesome.
It's awesome that like it's a nobody that's kind of at the front pack. Because I'm loving Mito Pereira. Like I'm loving me some Guillermo Mito Pereira. Like that's like the best name in sports to see right now. When he hits the ball and everybody's going, Mito, and the ball's flying through the air, bro. That's awesome. I wish that was that.
Well, if you remember last year, Will Zalatoris was in the final group for the Masters. So like he's been making his moves, but that's the thing with the majors in the golf, and we can. Talk all day. I could talk all day about this, but this is the biggest thing about the majors of golf. If you finish inside the top 25 in one of these tournaments or finish in the last final groupings, it ultimately propels you to play and get paid, and get your money's worth in these tournaments. Like Jamie was saying, that this new league that's coming across. I mean, granted, not anyone in the top 100 is going over to that league. So, you're missing out on some really great talent, but I get what you're saying in the sense of, ultimately, you can get paid, but that's what these majors do is they put your name on the map. And the name and likeness, let's be realistic. In sports, we know this. Your name and likeness comes from, and goes a long way. Ricky Fowler hasn't been competing at a high level in a long time, and he's still on all the commercial. He's still one of the highest paid golfers. And
he
his
did a
name.
great job at making himself stand out too, right?
Exactly.
I mean, he was a colorful guy on the course. He stood out. He was animated as a player. And look, if you got a $12 million purse at these tournaments, it's not like people are going to back off of the PGA either. I mean, the money is big everywhere.
It's everywhere. The TPC has the highest, but the Sawgrass tournament, but the players. But I agree with you 100%. But continue to talk about championships. We could talk about golf all day.
Wait, last thing about golf. That's
Go ahead,
most grass I thought Oklahoma had. And I think it's all I did not know they had grass.
Well, that's where it all goes. That's where it all goes. And we lost all our Tulsa listenership. Okay.
Shit.
Hey, just go bunk it down, guys. Stay tuned for the next tornado. Moving on. Let's go Rangers. We got a fan in there. What's up, Big Pat?
Your father is a smart man, John. Father.
Talking about let's go Rangers.
Don't give him that much credit.
Also, apparently he's drinking Coots Light.
There you go.
He's got too many Coots Light.
Hey, Pops. Cheers. That Coots Light must be real good right now.
He's had too many Coots Lights. But yeah, I mean, Mike. Let's talk about it. Go into the Rangers right now. They're 0-0 right now, 4-on-4 power play.
You said you're stressed, man. You said you're stressed.
Yeah, no, I'm very stressed. I'm very, very, very stressed. I like how I went to work and we were up 1-0 with 5 minutes to go in the game, and then I checked back at ESPN when I went on break, and we lost 2-1 in overtime. That was really fun.
Tough
So I was talking to you guys before the show. Like, there's a statistic that they were the first team in NHL history to have 3 come from behind wins, in elimination games in a single playoff series in NHL history. That is not good for my blood pressure, and it's really not good for my psyche because I'm about to snap on these guys and I don't even know them. It's
We'll see how you're 20. See how you're 26 and your blood pressure shouldn't be high. So let's talk about that. Hold on.
Well, that's because he's sipping on all those fruity ass beers every week, man.
What's a week?
Yeah, it's how I survive. It's how I survive.
No, but Mike, I agree with you. I told you I literally fell asleep. The Rangers were up 1-0. It was like in the third period, I think it was when I fell asleep. And then I wake up to Carolina scoring the game winner in OT. And I'm like, what happened?
What was up with the open goal? They missed an open goal or open shot?
Yeah, bro. They missed an open net that was a sitter, and that was the game right there. That was no bueno. Yep. Hey, but speaking about comeback wins, John, speaking about comeback wins, talk to us about being at the game last night, bro.
Heck yeah, man. That was great. That was a great environment. I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see the Panthers, in the playoffs and being so good. The problem is that, and I've said this for a long time, is that,
it is if you live in Miami.
Wait, let me interject real quick. It's weird seeing two Florida hockey teams.
Why?
The top level of hockey competition, second round in the playoffs right here.
Because you're pushing 90 degrees right now.
That's crazy.
Yep. Well, I mean, Tampa, I lived in Tampa and Jamie lives in Tampa. It is a hockey town.
It's a hockey town, bro.
It's a hockey town up there in Tampa. It's crazy. I didn't believe it. They have a great
watch party in front of the stadium during games, road games. That's a great watch party.
If any of our viewers ever get a chance to go to a Tampa Lightning game, it is incredible. And Pat, when you come down, we'll take you to one. It's incredible.
Hey,
like the atmosphere.
Affiliate for the Lightning, it's fun atmosphere there too. We get their players and send them down.
100%. So being at the game last night was real interesting. It was a great hockey game. Overall, great hockey game. Florida deserved to win that game 100%. They played 19 minutes, 50 minutes. I can't do math. They played until 10 seconds left to go in the game. They played.
Minutes.
Yes, thanks. Appreciate you.
I told you guys my math was good. I just picked up last week.
But they played 59 minutes of hockey yesterday. And one thing I was telling Jay earlier is that you can't break down with 1 minute left to go in the game when you're dominating the team. And then not to mention, how do you let the best player in the Eastern Conference go uncanny?
Right now.
Mike, I know you're gonna say
Mike don't like that.
But how are you gonna let him go just walk down to the net and grab the puck, and then knowing he has such a great mind for the game, and it's just incredible to watch Kucherov do what he does out there. And I was sitting 15 rows up from Bobrovsky from the goal, and I watched Colton come down the middle, and I'm like, oh, he's going to hit him in the pass. And all of a sudden I watch it, and it goes top shelf. And then there's a Florida fan behind me that was like, that wasn't a goal. I was like, yeah, it was. It hit the back of the net. I watched it. What are you talking about? But it's just crazy. I mean, arguably, Kucherov is the most underrated player probably in hockey, hands down. And, Mike, you can give me a face all you want, but I, hands down, think he's one of the most underrated players. The things he does – the things he does on the ice to help his team, he may look lackadaisical. I think I made this comment. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's just, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe he sees that. Sees the ice like no other player. So, but yeah, it was a great game. It was a 2-1 finish. They're gonna go back to Tampa, where Tampa is gonna take care of business there. And
this,
John. After the game, do you feel like the Florida Panther fans were kind of defeated after that loss, or do you think
100%? It was because they just got off a power play. They just scored the goal, and they had a lot of momentum. They just got off a power play, and then all of a sudden, after the power play, everyone's hyped, screaming, like screaming at my wife and I, Malin, and then all of a sudden, it's like 2 seconds later, everyone's like,
air right
nothing.
God,
nothing.
I have no idea how that feels.
No, you're at work.
Mike, Mike,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
you
though,
weren't
right?
there, Mike.
Mike, in your case, it was the opposite, though, right? The home crowd was really like Carolina played up to their crowd, and that crowd is, I mean, look, I'll tell you what. Looking at hockey right now, all of these towns, they are buying into their hockey teams.
Hell
The
yeah.
entire, like everybody in there is waving their towel or doing whatever it takes to have this unison, and that's really what I really loved watching a lot of these hockey games this year. I mean, if it's been happening for a long time, I know I've been missing out on it, but it just seems this year, I guess, with more marketing material and everybody getting free stuff in their seats and stuff like that, it just feels like there's more of a fan craze going on during these games. So for Carolina, cool. The home fans got their share of it. I think you guys win this game tonight, though, and even up the series here tonight, because you guys outskated them. Like you guys outskated them for like 56 minutes. So
yeah, they got it tonight.
You know what? What's crazy to think about in this playoffs, though? If you take us back in hockey history, like 30 years, 25, 30 years, all of the team, like there's a bunch of teams that was in this year's playoffs and are still in this year's playoffs that you wouldn't have pegged as hockey markets.
Right.
Like Carolina.
Yep. Tampa.
Florida. Dallas.
Yep.
Heck, at one point you wouldn't have said St. Louis was going to stay a hockey market because they weren't good for a long time.
Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nashville's a party, though. Nashville's just ready to party all the time.
Nashville Stadium, because I just went to Nashville.
Bridgestone?
Their stadium's literally right there on Broadway. It's it's right at the beginning of Broadway, and it's really cool. Like I would have loved to gone to a game when we were there, but it was like in the middle of June, and they weren't even close to being in the playoffs. So, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Mike. That it's like crazy to see these towns that you don't like. You expect Calgary, you expect Edmonton. Or Winnipeg.
Time out on Calgary, right? You're a defensive guy. I'll talk to the rest of you. I know what John would say. Would you guys rather be in that 2-1 Lightning game or that 9-6 Calgary game? Talk about, the battle for Alberta. 9-6. Come on, man.
I want no doubt. I want to party the entire time. I want
Give me that 9-6 too, bro.
Crazy.
Heck yeah, I'm all about that.
But there's something about a 1-goal hockey game in the playoffs.
Yeah,
with a winner at the last second. That's just it's unlike anything.
Oh yeah,
100%.
A buzzer beater, a last second goal. It's very exciting.
It's crazy.
But if I was there and I had a few brews, man,
I understand.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mike.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a few. It'd be a lot. Whatever.
There's no if you would have a few brews.
What? Man, I'd be an Oiler fan being happy in there.
But it is kind of crazy, right? That the Oilers are the high-powered offensive team, and then Calgary, who scored like 9 total goals in 5 or 6 games, comes out and scores 9, and they're like, "Look, if this is what we have to do to beat you guys, we're gonna play up to your game." And they beat them at their own game.
I don't think you're gonna see that the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think they'll shut it down.
Edmonton won't let it happen, man. Calgary.
You didn't think it. Mike said the same thing about LA, and LA went to 7 with them. So I don't know. I don't trust Mike anymore.
Speaking about not trusting,
I'm messing with you, Mike.
But speaking about not trusting, is Colorado in trouble, guys? Is Colorado in trouble?
I said this the other night. I said this the other night to Mike, and I said St. Louis looks really determined to make an upset on Colorado, because I believe Colorado embarrassed St. Louis last year. If that's correct, Mike?
I believe so.
I think it was a 4-1 or 4-0. Yeah, it was like a 4-0, 4-1 around there. But they embarrassed them. So I think St. Louis made them look crazy. But I mean, it's hard to beat McKinnon. McKinnon's definitely like one of the best hockey players. Yeah.
And the thing about St. Louis is they're one of those weird like tweener teams where they have a lot of good young players and some veteran players, but not. I don't know if they have a good enough mix of both to be able to get past a. Get
this guy to ban. Why am I still playing the banana?
You just noticed that?
No, I noticed it when we came back. I'm like, why is it? It was going to eventually change, but it hasn't.
Pat in the banana.
Pat in the banana.
Pat in the banana. I don't know if St. Louis has enough enough to keep depth to keep up with. You've thrown me off completely.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
To keep up with a team that's as deep and talented as Colorado is. Now I can see this going 6. I could see this going 6 because I could see St. Louis getting another one. But I don't think the Avalanche are in trouble.
Could the Avalanche just be like, "Hey, we're taking a game off. We crush Nashville."
You could
Conceivably,
conceivably that's possible.
Considering how well they've been playing this year and the fact that they're a hard team to skate with, yes, but why would you want to do that? Why would you want to give up home ice? You know, so
Because you don't care.
But and also
why would you beat them? Why throw them a game?
And why would you give up? Your track record has not been great. You've been one of the most dominant teams in the last 3 or 4 years. Right. Why would you go and give up game? Because you've dominated the first round, and then you come out in the second round and totally lay an egg. Just the last few years.
Yeah.
So it's like,
hey, bro.
I mean, it could have been non-voluntary type of thing where they were just after that series they were kind of beat up.
Let's talk about teams that have really been dominated for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Let's transition to the NBA. Is the big three in San Francisco looking like the team to beat, or is it the Boston Celtics after last?
Come on,
Golden State.
I mean,
come on.
I don't know. I mean,
come on.
It's a debate, right? I mean, you can't just say, "Come on, it's Golden State."
So
when Boston has bounced back with a win after every loss, that means that the team is playing with the best game plan or adversity coming off a loss than any other team.
That means they're battle tested. That means they have offensive, defensive team chemistry. That means if they lose, you're going to get the best out of that team the next day. And that's what the playoffs have shown.
The Celtics, I have to say, even though they're playing my Heat, even though Pat and I kind of go.
Did you see that?
What is it? Your Dwayne Wade jersey?
Upside down.
Why is it upside down?
Because he's trying to hang Miami.
He's not even
hang Miami.
He's changing his hair color.
The first Miami Heat home loss in this year's playoffs.
That's interesting.
Celtics.
That's interesting.
But that's what my point was going was the Celtics were the team I did not, and I said this last podcast is who do you want to play? I want to play the Bucks because I feel like we can get through the Bucks pretty. The Celtics, I feel like, are the Heat's kryptonite in a sense of they do have a great defensive team, and they rotate guys pretty well, and they're not to mention they can shoot. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Jason Tate can all shoot. Plus the other guys on
Williams, Mr. 3-point shot all of a sudden.
Yeah, really. And
you got Williams, Horford, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum on the court with Smart. That is a huge lineup. And Smart being the defensive player of the year, that's a hard team to score the ball on.
That was the difference maker in the first game, too. They didn't have Marcus Smart. They didn't have Al Horford. Mm-hmm. And it showed. That was the difference.
Actually, they still won like 3 of those quarters from a scoring standpoint. Miami just won the third quarter, which made them win the game.
Trust me.
But here's my
we won last night, but the first game, I just think about the third quarter. That's all I think about.
But think about it. Like, that's the thing you have to think about, though, is the third quarter, is that the Heat can turn it up anytime. And I'm not saying that as a fan. I'm saying that as what I've seen all season and what I've seen throughout this playoffs, that they could turn it up.
Was that pun intended? They could turn the Heat up?
They could turn the heat up. I like AC. That's why I went to the hockey game. I love hockey games. Side note, I love hockey games because it's so cold in there. And I'm like, everyone else is like, I'm like, I'm sweating right now. I need to do I need to go a wardrobe change over here.
Everybody's like, this dude's wearing a Lightning fan, but we know he's from somewhere up north. He's not from around.
But yeah, I mean, the Celtics look dominant, but it's like, let's be realistic. It's only one game for either side. We're about to see how Dallas comes out in this Golden State series. I agree with you. I think it'll be I think, looking at it, throughout the playoffs, I do think it's going to. I don't want it to be, but I do think it's going to be the Celtics and the Warriors in the finals. I don't want it.
Let me go around the room.
But I'm watching the teams. I do think that's who's going to be in the finals because I just think that they've had our number all year.
Okay, so then the Celtics and Warriors are the teams in the finals. Who is the team to beat? Who do you guys have? Pat, I know who you have.
Yeah,
John, who do you have?
Most complete team.
I'll pick Golden State in that.
Golden State. Mikey?
Golden State.
Golden State.
Jamie?
Reasons from everyone. Cite your sources.
You know what? Here's the thing, right? You guys know
I'm not citing my sources.
You guys know I was riding the Phoenix
This is
Suns
college. You don't need
all year
bibliography.
long, right? But the way Golden State came out, the way Steph kind of stamped his claim on, hey, you forgot that I was an MVP a couple of years ago, and knowing Clay was going to come back, everybody as a true basketball fan knew that this team will be the most dangerous team healthy. It might be the only smart thing Stephen A has said all year long. He kept preaching it all year long that this is a dangerous team if they're healthy. They have the most championship pedigree of any other team in the NBA. Their chemistry is undeniable. The way they move off the ball is incredible to watch. The way they defend, which was not their MO when they first started winning championships, is at a high level right now. They're the team to beat. I mean, here's the thing about Dallas. This is LeBron's Cavs, i.e., this is Luka looking just like how LeBron looked in Cleveland. Nobody else to pick up from where he can't provide you 50 a game.
It's not,
and it's just very reminiscent of the Cavs Spurs championship series that took place a couple decades.
It's not Luka's year this year. It might be Luka's year next year.
It depends on who they get around him.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr. is healthy.
Mike, what you think?
I would tend to agree. I think this is just if Wiggins can play half as well as he did in Game 1, then Golden State is 150%. The team to beat, 207% the team to beat. Because
how about 500? Guys, you're watching Cinco Squad. Tune into Cinco Squad, by the way. You know it. Follow us everywhere.
Give me 164%,
and Steph Curry is giving me 207%. If you know, you know. Anyway, yeah, I just think that this is just the weapons that Golden State has, and like you said, Jamie, their ability to move off ball and kind of, it doesn't even look like they're running plays. It's just like they're free flowing because they all know where each other's going to be. It actually reminds me a lot of hockey, where it's just like guys constantly circling and finding each other because they know, they play together for so long. And even though Draymond's not the offensive threat from a point standpoint that maybe he was, 4 years ago, he still played with, especially Steph and Clay, long enough that they have that chemistry, and he knows how to facilitate the ball best for them to score. And he's getting down how to facilitate the ball for Wiggins. Mm-hmm. So it's just a crazy, nasty, deep team that anybody could score. Plus, let's not forget that Jordan Poole is still a very good player.
Thank you. People talked about who can defend Luka. Jordan Poole had everybody on skates, talking about a hockey reference. Nobody could get in front of him in that last game. He was doing what he wanted at will. But then when you have Clay shooting the ball well, and you have Steph shooting the ball well, and then you have to worry about Draymond facilitating to those open shooters, and Wiggins is playing well, it's almost like, what the hell do you do? As good as Jason Kidd is as a defensive-minded coach, what the hell do you do when the entire squad, Cinco Squad, what do you do when the entire squad is playing well?
Listen, the only thing I'm worried about Draymond doing is kicking me in the nuts. All right?
Hey, listen, he contributes how he must. He contributes how he must.
If you close your eyes, though, and you say great ball movement, great shooting, great defense, you could be talking about the Warriors or the Celtics at this point. The Celtics are shooting out of their minds.
You don't have a Steph
John, throw up a homer on there. Let's get a homer on the bottom.
Steph Curry.
Really? Who on the entire Boston Celtics roster right now shoots as well as Steph Curry?
All right, you guys are going to laugh. Peyton Pritchard is shooting
get out of
lights
here.
out.
No.
He's shooting lights out.
No.
Get him out of here. Thank you very much.
We both did it.
That's a 1 minute mute right there. Come on.
Plus 39 in every third quarter in this playoffs.
You're just an Oregon and Celtics homer.
Yep.
Out of here.
You can guard Clay.
You're
Marcus
going
Smart. You got Jaylen Brown.
You know who's the real MVP? Hold on. Is the lady that was telling Draymond, it's okay. It's okay. Did you see that? That's the real MVP.
He gets one game against Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart gets under his skin. He's ejected for kicking someone in the nuts.
I think that's
and
illegal.
Shoot his own podcast in the locker room. That's Draymond right there.
Yeah,
the Celtics are championship-minded right
Smart
now.
doesn't miss another game.
All right, let's get some predictions for tonight. The Warriors are 6.5-point favorites. Can Dallas pull off this road win?
No.
Yes.
Almost unanimous. Almost unanimous.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is very tough.
playing with Golden State.
I think Dallas pulls off this upset just because I think they come out with a little bit more fun. They got embarrassed in game one, and I think that's all they keep hearing is what you saw at the end of the game is Luka with that devilish smile that he has when he was walking off the court, and you know he's going to go off for at least 40 or 50 tonight. And I think the rest of the team got embarrassed. I don't think they're going to get embarrassed tonight. I think they're going to
take his smile.
What?
Did you just bring?
Yeah, he does have this very troublesome sort of smirk.
No, it was like they were walking off the court, and he was just giving this like I'm coming back.
That's not happening.
Just don't mess with me. Like you poked the wrong bear type of like smile. Like all right, I got you. All right.
Listen, Pat, Boston's not the only team bouncing back. Dallas has lost every game won so far this year.
No, I get it.
Series they played.
I was going to bring up
the
Celtics and the Mavs coming off a really tough 7-game series in the second round, and then having a quick turnaround on the road playing against 2 really high-powered teams.
And here's the thing. Ever since January 1st, bro, January 1st, the Celtics, best record in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks, second best in the Western Conference behind Phoenix, who they handled. So it's no surprise these teams are where they are right now.
Yeah.
They came out of the gate at the turn of the new year determined to not just make the playoffs, but to make a statement in the playoffs. I think we're realizing now that the caliber of coach on that sideline, because we always go with the experience. Okay, here's Kerr and here's Foles. So here you have these coaches with all this NBA Finals experience who've gone at it with each other. Multiple times. Well, not multiple times, I guess, because we went back to.
No. We get what you mean.
But there's tons of experience on both sides of the court, and then you have your rookie coach and Jason Kidd, who's been there as a player, and you're saying, well, are these guys going to get out coached? Well, I don't know if we could just assume that, but I won't be surprised if it's Miami Golden State. John said he's seeing it if it's more like it's going to be a Celtics Golden State final. Pat, I know where you're going. Your Celtics Golden State. Mikey, where you at? Where are you at?
I'm gonna go Miami Golden State.
Was that your original prediction?
I had Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Mine was Miami.
You drank my Phoenix Kool-Aid. Sorry, boys. I made you drink that Phoenix Kool-Aid.
You guys like being wrong, don't you?
No, I just
you said Celtics Grizzlies.
Yeah,
you did.
I'm the closest over everyone.
No, you're not.
Miami.
We both took Miami.
Yeah, I'm looking ahead. Miami's not part of this conversation.
I believe in Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler can't shoot a 3 like Luka can. Luka can take over a game. Jimmy Butler makes his points from the free throw line.
That's not true. That's not true. He takes over games. Don't even. Screw that. The Heat are going to win. The Heat are going to win this series.
Hold on.
That.
When James Harden was dominating the NBA as a scoring leader, most of his points came at the free throw line, which is a sign that you know how to get to the line and make the game easy. That's taken over the game in its own right, bro. You can't say that just because he's not doing it in a stylish way, it's not you're taking over the game in terms of changing the whole tempo. You don't give the other team any opportunities to get out on the fast break at all when you change the tempo.
What's wrong with him? He won 3 championships.
Hey, when the Celtics have the largest lead at halftime in playoff history for a franchise, and the Celtics have been in half of the Eastern Conference championships.
Pat, you've
That's
been
saying
blinded.
Something. We're knocking the Heat out.
You've been blinded by fanaticism, Pat. Blinded. You're a fanatic, and you need to wake
you guys
up.
Been blinded by Heat culture.
I don't care about the Heat.
I wear sunglasses.
I burn in the heat. Look at me.
Hey, man. You win some and you lose some.
I don't.
I win more than I lose.
Well, that brings up a good point. Let's talk about our winners and losers of the month of May.
All right.
So, Pat, in the hat, since you want to talk about wins and losers, who are your wins and who is your winner and loser for this month?
Loser. Let's start there. No, my winner for the month of May is what we just talked about, the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs. Last week was the most Game 7 games played in a whole weekend. The previous record was 5 back in 2014, and they were all NBA. This has been an exciting playoffs, NBA and NHL. NBA, some blowouts, but either way, they're going full lengths. They're giving what the fans want. That's a winner in my book, boys. And speaking of books, I'm the loser in betting on the Cincinnati Reds this month.
Yeah, we can't take your no one can take your opinions anymore because you're betting on the Reds.
For people who don't know, I've made parlays on baseball games, and I made in a group chat saying, if you bet on the Reds, it's money in the bag. They go on to lose that game
for the bookie.
in the middle of this, they throw a no-hitter but lose.
Yeah.
Go fucking figure. And then I just made another bet on them, and they lose in extra innings to the Cleveland Guardians. So I cannot get around this Cincinnati curse, and I will never put them on a parlay again. I'm a loser.
if you bet on them 100 times, you'll hit at least once.
I hit on them the first week. I'm forever cursed with the text message I sent to you guys.
Yeah. We'll never let you forget it.
Please don't. I need to learn my lesson.
Stop gambling.
Guys, I'm thinking about
Keep making your parlays. Do you know, guys, by the way, today is Make $1 Million Day or National $1 Million Day or something. So, Pat, go ahead and put that.
That doesn't apply to us.
Go ahead and put that 14-team parlay in this weekend for $1 to make $9.50. I'm with you, bro.
There we go, man.
I'll throw you 50 cents. I get half if you win.
Jamie, you're not a good influence.
Jamie,
Get out of here, bro. I'm a great influence. What's your game plan to make $1 million this weekend?
That's
gamble.
See, I'm gonna go on Madden and I'm gonna lower my ticket prices because usually anyway.
Jamie, you sound like a winner though.
John,
what
we need
is
to set
your
up an
winner and
intervention.
loser for the month of May?
Well, this one's kind of tough for me because Saban almost took the crown after the ridiculous comments he made, as if he's been the cleanest coach in the history of sports, almost trying to play as if like. But, he's so smart because he's really calling out the Alabama boosters in the way he knows how to do it without actually saying it, right? He's a very conniving guy. But unfortunately, I can't be Saban because all months long, I've just been kind of, me, I was like, look, I think this is the year the Lightning bow out in the first round. It has to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, when are you guys going to win another playoff series? The city of Toronto, maybe more than any other city, is dying for a win in hockey. They don't even care if the Blue Jays were the best team in baseball this year. And maybe they wish it was the Toronto Blue Jays because they might have won on the ice if that's what they changed their name to.
You almost made them that last week.
I got to go with the Maple Leafs, man. I mean, how bad does it suck where if you're an 18-year-old kid, all you've ever, or a 21-year-old kid, and been watching hockey since you were 3 or 4, all you've ever known is when they get to the playoffs, we're going to lose. That sucks. Like, that absolutely sucks. I can't imagine that feeling. From a winner standpoint, we just have to keep following the Tiger storyline. Everybody's a winner when we get to see Tiger out there in the golf course. And we saw him limping in the practice rounds, and you kind of wonder, like, will he make the cut? Well, guess what? He did make the cut. All of us are winners once again. We get 2 more days of watching Tiger on a golf course because we don't know how long this is going to last. So I consider any sports fan who's any slightly interested in golf or it knows about it, everybody knows about Tiger. We're all winners this week because we get to watch him play on the weekend as well. John, who you got, my man? Who are your winners and losers of the month?
So my winners of the month is definitely my New York Yankees.
Woo!
Sounds like
Let's
ours.
go.
Hey, May, you can sign off now. Bye, May. Thanks for tuning in.
I mean, come on, man. They're playing the best baseball. Even when they're down going into late innings, they're the comeback kids of 09. Remember in 09, boys, when they won the world title? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
but yeah, they're my winners of this month. I mean, they're just playing excellent baseball from pitching all the way down to, hitting and fielding and everything like that. I haven't been able to catch many games just because, with streaming and everything, but
it's that work. Get your shit together.
But I mean, it's been awesome to watch them play great baseball and play to the potential that they need to. Now, I hope that they're playing this good in August, September, October, November, and then we can celebrate on the podcast and hold up a trophy.
Close out great, boys. Come on.
And my losers, Jamie took it for me on the losers. Ultimately, that was mine. Is Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, 19 years now without a playoff series win. Not even like a Stanley Cup win, a playoff series win. And Mike can tell me when the last time they won a cup. But I mean, it's just sad because they should have won that series. They were the better team in that series against Tampa, and they played better than Tampa. The problem is Tampa has this mindset that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's what I'm going to keep saying to Pat. It's a marathon, not a sprint, buddy. So the Heat are gonna
has that homeboy in goal when he turns into that madman. You ain't getting any puck by him, boy. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Big cat.
I'm using that and putting it towards gambling. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
All right, Mikey Mike. Winners and losers. Let's go.
So, to answer your question real quick, 1967 was the last time the Maple Leafs won.
That's a long time.
Cup. Yeah, it was before conferences, for reference. It was before conferences. They've never won a conference. Anyway.
Before some states.
Yes. So, I'm going to start with my loser, and I'm sorry, Jamie, but my loser.
Sorry,
I don't think that's accurate.
Trying to fight.
Sorry, Nevada.
My loser for the week, or for the month of May. I'm sorry, Jamie, is the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Yes.
They entered the playoffs with all the momentum in the world and all the backing, and we go another year without the point guard having a title.
Yep.
Another wasted all-star performance, legendary playoff performance from Devin Booker, and it's another bad turnout for the Suns. However, my winner kind of goes along with John's, but it's a little more specific, and that is Aaron Judge. The man bet on himself. He rejected a 6-year, $220 million contract offer to begin the season. That's right, number 99. Probably the only guy that's ever going to wear 99 for the Yankees.
I just bought it.
God, you guys talked before the show. That was well.
I had to yank it out of the pile. I'm surprised it came out.
But yeah, so he bet on himself, rejected his 6-year, $220 million contract offer, bet on himself that he could make more money, and damn if he hasn't earned it so far, because he might be the favorite for AL MVP right now.
That's how you bet, Pat. Pat, that's how you bet.
I hear you loud and clear, Mike.
Yes.
$300 million on red.
Yes.
Yeah, give myself a jersey.
Aaron, yes, $220 million on Judge. No, he's been hitting the hell out of the ball. He's been crushing home runs in any ballpark he stepped foot in. And he's been playing great defense, playing center and right. So he's a big part of why the Yankees are so successful and why they are John's winner. But
I don't want the Yankees to win, but give me the Subway Series, you guys. Don't talk about the fact that the Mets have the best record in the NL right now.
That's because it's the Mets.
Because this is the National League. Who cares?
Anyway, but you know what, guys? We've thrown a lot of facts out today, and I think it's time. I think it's time for our weekly segment called, what is it, Jamie?
Stop the squad.
Oh no, he's got the bell.
All right, boys and girls, ghouls and goblins, everybody tuned into the show right now. This is where we try and stump each other.
Who's watching?
We are going. I don't know. Somebody might be listening. You never know.
Goblins.
If they got to minute 53, we love you for making it to minute 53. We owe you a sports jersey. Type right now. Tell us who your favorite player is. It might come to your doorstep sooner than you think.
Just let us know.
Ready to shoot.
All right, guys. So this is where we go into our trivia, where we try and stump one another. We're going to bet either 2 or 1 points. The person with the most points at the end of Stump the Squad gets to go on their rant of the week. We're going to get this kicking off right away. I'm going to swing it to my man above here, the betting man, the man himself, Mr. Parlay, Pat in the Hat. Take us away with Stump the Squad.
Okay, boys. Backpacking off of the gambling. Twos all around. Everyone betting 2. So with the gambling theme in my square right up here, we're talking Preakness. We're talking Preakness.
Oh.
So my question is, how many Phillies And for those of you who don't know what fillies are, they're young female horses.
Yes.
Have won in the last.
Or you can roll a blunt with them.
Yeah. Or fly, eagles, fly. How many fillies have won in the last 146 editions of the Preakness? Is it A, 7, B, 6, C, 12, or D, 20?
Well, you said 7. You said gambling and 7. So 7's usually in the gambling. So I'm gonna go 20.
I got 12. C. I got like
God, that was really weird, like conclusion right there. That made no sense.
That was the point.
I'm gonna go 12.
Everyone locked in?
locked in.
Locked in.
All right. I have successfully stumped the squad.
Oh, it's 6? Is it 6?
It is 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only 6 fillies have won in the Preakness. The last one coming
Wow.
2020, actually.
Wow.
Pat, you're leading.
I'm at 0. All right.
Even with a 0.
All right,
I had
Pat.
a chance to lose.
Pat, pick the next person. Who's
I
going
got
next?
right over here. I forget cameras.
Who's over there?
Mike,
Hello.
go out the window real quick.
Okay. Hold on, I'll be right back.
It's going Mike. Mike is next.
All right.
Mike.
Two. 2. Jamie.
Actually, no, let's switch it. 1. Let's
1.
play
Okay,
smart
Pat's
here.
going 1. Pat's going 1. So 2 for John and Jamie, 1 for Pat.
We bet smart, not over your head.
Yeah, there you go. Like the Reds. All right.
Like the Reds. Goddamn.
Well, keeping on the theme of our winners
Who
for
takes the
John and I
Reds?
have a Yankees question for you.
Okay.
Which stadium, gentlemen, have the Yankees not called home at some point in their history?
Okay.
Shea Stadium, Oriole Park, Ebbets Field, or the Polo Grounds?
Oriole Park. I'm going
Shea
Oriole
Stadium.
Park.
Oriole Park, Ebbets Field, or the Polo Grounds? John is going Oriole Park.
That's a stupid
Why would the
question.
Yankees have called Shea Stadium their home?
Damn.
I'm just joking, Mike. That was a really good question. I just don't like it because I don't know it.
Everybody's ganging
I'm
up
gonna go.
on me.
I'm gonna go at Shea Stadium.
I am also going Shea.
Okay, so John is locked in at Oriole Park. Jamie
Yeah.
and Pat locked in at Shea Stadium.
Yep.
I have successfully stumped the squad.
Really?
Ebbets Field. It's
Ebbets
Ebbets Field. Yes.
Damn
So
it.
the Brooklyn Dodgers played.
I know they played at
Damn it.
Citi Field recently.
So, little side note before we move on. Oriole Park, because the Yankees began as the Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
Interesting.
And Shea Stadium, because they played at Shea Stadium for 2 seasons while the original Yankee Stadium was being renovated in the early 70s.
That makes sense.
Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't
that makes
know.
sense.
Yeah, I didn't know Shea.
That's why I
Stadium
said.
was
That's why I said Shea Stadium is because, like, ultimately at
because
some
it was
point
being
they probably
renovated?
because
Yeah.
at one point or another they probably played there because if
I
they
believe
needed to
that's when they
renovate the stadium, yeah,
Yeah, I believe that's when they put the facade up, if I'm not mistaken.
the facade.
The facade, like the
Facade.
third deck, and then
John, take it away, bro.
yeah, John, take it away.
Okay, sorry, Mike.
I love that enunciation.
The facade.
I like that. I like that word. It's like tweener and facade. I'm learning words.
That question
today,
was a
guys.
facade.
Welcome to the dictionary.
That
hour
question.
with Mike.
That question was a
Start me and
tweener.
John.
Tweener.
All right. So let me see what you got. Wait, how many
Chapter
points?
1.
Okay. I'm cool.
All right, how many?
Can I risk 4? Can I risk 4 in this run?
No. You made
Two.
the rules.
So
One for
One
Pat.
for Pat.
1 for Pat. How many for Mike?
2.
2 for Jamie, 2 for Mike. Okay, so this is a golf question since we're in the major season. So Jordan Spieth and Arnold Palmer are among 3 players to win every major except the
Love his
PGA Championship. Who is the other? A. Tom Watson, B. Sam Snead, C. Nick Faldo, or D. Tiger Woods?
I'm gonna go Faldo because I don't think that's a real person.
It
Yeah,
a
he
real
is.
person.
It is a real person.
Nick Faldo's real.
I think he's
Who's A and B, John? Who's A and B?
You want me to repeat the question or no?
No, just say A and B.
A and B was Tom Watson and then Sam Snead. Nick Faldo or Tiger Woods.
Right.
Faldo won the Grand Slam, so did Snead. I'll go A. I'll go Tom Watson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tom Watson because I know Woods won it in 07.
Yeah.
And Woods has a Grand Slam, so he would not be it.
Correct.
I have successfully stumped Pat. It is
Bang,
Tom
bang.
Watson.
Bang, bang.
Not hard
Bang,
on
bang.
a golf question.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang.
All right, where are we at right now?
So Pat's at -2. I'm at -4. Mike's at 0. And you're at
I'm at
-2. So I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I can't win.
We've
No more
defeated
victory
him.
lap.
Hey,
No
just
more
wait.
victory lap.
You
So
can start.
Jay, it's your turn.
I guess I'm out too unless I get everybody stumped here. All right, guys. So since I'm such a good teammate, I always kind of go the hockey route because you guys are huge hockey fans. So my Lightning are now in a really comfortable spot because they have a 2-0 lead.
We got a bet.
Wait.
What are we betting, guys?
I bet 2.
1, 2. All right.
Wait, Mike's
Your
going one,
Rangers
I'm going two.
might be
I'm
in
going two.
trouble here, Mike, because if they go down 2-0, here's my question to you guys.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a range, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Teams have gone down in the playoffs 2-0 218 times. Okay, I'll give you guys a range and you have to guess the range. What range fits the answer of how many teams have come back from a 2-0 deficit in the NHL playoffs? Is it 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, or 40 to 50? Which range is the exact number of teams that have come back from a 2-0 deficit in the NHL playoffs? 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, or 40, 50?
20, 30.
What'd you say?
20 to 30.
20, 30.
30.
Yeah, 2030.
20, 30.
I will also go 2030 because that was a very difficult question. I worked 40 hours this week and it just confused me.
Yeah, but I gave you guys a range. Gentlemen, I have successfully stumped the score.
It's 10 to 20, isn't it?
It's between 30 and 40. Tell me if we have a tie. If we have a tie, I'm going to say who the closest is to the actual number. And then
Mike's
I'll
got
do
it.
the
No,
tiebreaker.
no,
Do we have a
Pat and
tie?
I answered the same answer, so.
Yeah, Mike's
Okay,
got it.
so Mike, you got it? All right, so the answer is 37 teams.
Okay.
Mike is the winner.
12.7% of teams that have gone down 2-0 have come back to win this year.
Mike is the winner.
Mikey Mike,
The stat started with him and it ended with him.
you
Yes,
better
in
not
an
talk about Daniel
in
Garbage
an
Jones right
episode that
now
will
because
never
we'll
be
mute
seen
you if
because
you
I
put
got
that
it
name
on-
out there.
If you put Daniel
Do
Jones
not
in
mention
this-
that name this week, bro. You are out of here if you mention
We're
that.
gonna talk over your rant, Mike.
All right, I'm gonna mute us. I'm just joking.
All right. Well, we all know who the greatest quarterback of all time is, but we're not going to talk about that.
John,
What
give
we're
him his
gonna
due,
talk about-
man. Give him the big screen, John. Give him the big screen.
I don't know how.
Hold on,
Give him
I
the big
got me.
screen.
He only knows how to give it to. Hey.
I got me. Yeah, we're not going to talk about him. What we are going to talk about
Thank God.
I
is
know, right?
the current love and yet bane of my existence, these fine gentlemen here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a jersey.
That's it.
There's a little person living inside, bro. You just can't see him right now. Thank
He
you.
took him off.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about the New York Rangers, who have impressed me greatly so far in these playoffs because they are still a very young team. They had a very good season, but you look at their best line so far in the playoffs has been what's called the kid line, which is Philip Hedl, Lexi Lafreniere, and Capo Caco, whose average age is yes, I
What a
know it's a
great
weird
name.
name.
What a great name.
Their
Great
average, I think their average age is 21,
Wow.
but they've scored
Talk about
a
future.
total of they've combined for a total of I believe 9 or 10 points over the course of the playoffs so far. So that's been kind of the engine that's been running the ship there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes, but they've just been a very impressive team, and I think they have the ability and the depth to beat the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they can get to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think they can win. So I can't wait to see the Rangers hoist the Stanley Cup for the first time since 1994, which would make it the first time I've ever seen them win the cup because I was born in
What a
1995.
bold prediction.
Can I say something real quick? Hey, Mike,
What?
who's that jersey?
Don't worry about it.
Who's he play for?
A soon to be eliminated team. He's one of two captains in my lifetime that we've traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Enlighten our audio listeners. What jersey do you have?
So I have a home blue Rangers jersey with a Captain C on it that I got for Christmas. It was awesome. It's a Ryan McDonough jersey, and then 2 years later they traded him to the Lightning.
That's right. And that guy celebrated in style.
Yes, he did.
Last year. And he
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right, guys, predictions for the PGA Championship. Who wins?
The course.
Dustin Thomas. Tulsa. Justin Thomas.
How do you pronounce the guy who's in the lead's name? Him.
Zalatoris.
Zalatoris. I think he'll hold on.
You asked me for pronunciation.
I'm going with my new favorite name in golf. Let's go, Mito.
So Pat's got Tulsa.
Great city of Tulsa. Bring our listeners back.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well,
who's finishing this?
Yeah, let's end this.
Great show, boys.
Yeah.
Awesome weekend of sports.
Let's go, Liverpool.
Boy, here
Chance
we go.
for the quad.
Okay.
Bro, we could win the
Don't you
quad.
guys
We'd be the
score the
first
quad?
English team ever. If Aston Villa, this is a big
This is
storyline. If Aston Villa beats Man City or steals a point, and one of Liverpool's greatest players ever is the manager for Aston Villa, Liverpool could win the quad. You guys don't understand how amazing this is.
This is America.
Trophies in 1 year. Oh my God. Yeah,
Just
football.
like that. The
Wrong
squad is over today.
Everyone have a good weekend of sports. We'll talk to you next week.
Let's go, Liverpool.
Right.
Don't
Thursday
lose
at
the
8.
Liverpool, guys.
Socials, Instagram,
Greatest sport in the world.
Facebook, YouTube.
Let's go.
It's the
Spotify.
podcast, Apple,
Everybody
Spotify.
read.
Anywhere you listen to your podcast.
Read it.
See you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Peace.